everybody, it's Leanne the lawyer, and today's topic is going to be taxes. We're going to talk about how taxes can impact your title search. And, in a previous week, we talked about finding tax liens, both federal and state, and we just had you work through that process so that you could become more familiar with using the electronic database. But today we're going to look at some specific taxes. And we're going to use the information that we used in the prior video when we did our chain of title search. And we're going to be looking at this Adrian Brown Dale Snyder property. And you may recall that, again, like I said, from that prior video. So what we're going to be doing today is all electronic. So we are going to be using the electronic database. And I always want to caution you, when you're searching and using the electronic database, all of this information should be verified at the courthouse. Don't ever make any final decisions based on this. So with that said, let's look at some things in the deed that will help us with our tax search. There's information in here that we can utilize. So first of all, we do have the name of the current owner. Her name is Adrian Brown, and you can look at the spelling and notice that she has the middle initial M. Those middle initials can be really important when we're trying to figure out, do we have the right person when we're looking at records? And then you'll see that the previous owner was Dale Snyder. If we move on to the second page of the deed, a lot of deeds will have this information in there. And waiting for it to pull up the second page of the deed. See if I can get that going for us. This may happen to you as well. And let's try one more. There we go. There's the second page of the deed. Okay. So that may happen to you, and you can see what I just did. I just refreshed it a couple of times, and eventually it came up. But the taxing information, that was something we kind of glossed over before when we were just looking at the deeds and doing our chain of title, but now it's becoming important. So it tells us that the real estate here, for tax purposes, will be found in the land books, and we're going to look at 6th Ward. That happens to be our district, and for the city of Morgantown, and it says for the tax year 2013 as follows. It's actually going to be listed not under Adrian Brown, but under Dale Snyder. So if we had looked under Adrian Brown, we would not have found this tax information, which is very important. And it's going to be at map 31, parcel 85. So you want to make sure that you make note of that as well. So we're going to be in district. The district is 6th Ward. And then our map is going to be 31 with parcel 85. That's going to be our most crucial information as we do our searching. But you also want to make note of that it's BL7, Lot 6, and they are calling it 1450 Mayfield Avenue. That's going to be your street address for this particular property. And then it comprises an area of 0.1653 acreage. So again, all information that you would want to have on hand. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. And we're going to go to the Montague County Sheriff's Tax Office. Okay. You can see the web address up here. It's montague.softwaresystems.com:8383/index.html. That's how you're going to find this, and in your online class, that web address has been provided for you. Okay, so let's look at the Montague County tax records. Now, had we entered in Adrian Brown, let me just show you what we would have found. Okay. Our property on Mayfield Avenue does not show up. All of the property that shows up for Adrian M. Brown is considered personal property. It's all listed as PP. We're going to be needing RE to show her real property. So we know that if we had just now searched for Adrian Brown without using the information obtained from the deed, we would have wondered where in the heck the tax information was for our parcel that we're trying to research. So, important lesson to be learned, always look at the deed if you can, if you have access to it. So I'm going to hit the back button, and let's put in Dale Snyder, because remember it says it was listed under Dale Snyder. So search by name. Look at everything that comes up for Dale Snyder. Now also you're going to see there's just Dale Snyder with no middle initial, and there's Dale W. Snyder, and then down here there's Dale W. Snyder with Nancy, which means that he's married. So that's going to be something we can talk about later as we do defects in the chain of title. Is Dale W. Snyder, is that a different person from Dale Snyder? Hopefully it is, because in our deed, Dale Snyder was listed as a single person, and he may be married. And if he's married to that Nancy person, then that may be something that would be at issue, because if they were currently married whenever this property was transferred, she may have an interest. So we'll talk about that at a later time. That would be something you would want to definitely bring up to the attorney that you're working for. Okay, so we're going to get back out of this because this is still far too broad when we have a much better way to search. Now, I searched for this property previously, and so we're going to search by that district, the map, and the parcel number that we came up with. So I've selected 6th Ward. This is where we're going to choose our map, and this is map 31. You see how it's district, map, parcel, and subparcel. And then it is parcel 85. So we're going to go down to 85. And then we are going to search. Okay, and see, it's a much narrower field, and you also notice all of these are going to be real estate, because only real estate is going to be included on the tax maps. That makes sense. Personal property wouldn't be there. So if you're searching by tax map, it's going to eliminate all of those personal property taxes that come up. You do want to look at those personal property taxes, because if they haven't paid those, that can also create an issue as well. But we're going to focus on the real estate for this piece of property right now. You can see these are all 1450 Mayfield Avenue, which was the address that was listed in the deed. And we're going to look at the most recent one, which is going to be for the tax year. There's 2014. I'm sorry, 2014. I'm going to click on that. And you can see when we actually look at the tax records, nothing is due. Okay, so Adrienne Brown, her name actually appears up here. You see how there's this asterisk 15? For the tax year 15, it is going to be listed under Adrienne Brown's name. But for this particular situation, it was the time that it was transferred. It's going to be under Dale Snyder for right now. Hopefully this makes sense. So next year we would be searching for Adrienne Brown. But when we searched for her, remember, it didn't come up. We had to either look under Dale Snyder or we had to use this property. It's always best to use the actual property, because you know, no matter how it's listed, whose name it's under, it's going to be talking about the property in question. So we can see that none is due right now. Everything's been paid up to date. So we don't have any current tax issues, and we can see exactly how much the tax is for a half a year. Okay, we can just multiply that by 2 to get your whole year taxes. Okay. So that's how you search for the sheriff's tax office. Something else you want to do is go to the Monongalia County Clerk's homepage, and this is www.monongahiacountyclerk.com. When you get there, you are going to click down here on the Monongalia County Assessor. Well, actually, we'll click on the Monongalia County Assessor online map. So when we get there, it takes us to the map room. So if you were actually in the courthouse, you would literally be in the map room, where they keep all the maps. We're going to click on this picture of what's called a map card. And it tells us, it gives us some information that, again, you need to actually go down to the courthouse. That's what all this basically is telling you, in order to verify this information. So this is sort of a disclaimer. They said no warranty of data is expressed or implied. We're going to click on the database. And you're wondering, why are we in here? Well, map cards document who owned the property when and when the transfer was made. So this can really help confirm our chain of title search. But it isn't ever to be used in place of a chain of title search. Okay, so when I clicked on that, all of this stuff came up. Okay, so we want to use the parcel database, and you get this comes up. Okay, so we are going to search by 6th Ward, tax map 31, and it's parcel 85. Okay, and we're going to click find. Okay, when we click on that, you can see that it's district name 6th Ward, and you can see the owner's name currently is Adrienne Brown. It tells you where to find the deed, it tells you what the sale price was, and it tells you she has owned that since December 11th of 2013. Okay, so that gives us the basic information. That only gave us the current parcel info. That's because we had this box checked. Let's uncheck it and see what happens when we uncheck that and search for the same information. Look at that. Now we see that Adrienne Brown down here at the bottom is the current owner. The owner before her was Dale Snyder, and the owner before Dale was Terry Mayfield. And it tells us if we wanted to see, there was no sale price here, but we get more information, and it's sparse, but it lets you know how far back the records go for the map and for the map room and what has been electronically stored. So again, this information is important. That's how you find it. You will have an exercise or a lesson that will see if you can navigate these two systems. Good luck and have a great day.